Ladies and gentlemen, the Chancellor of the University of Johannesburg welcomes you to this graduation ceremony. Due to security reasons, you are requested not to leave the auditorium before the end of the proceedings. Please note that photos and videos must be taken from your seats. Please do not get up and walk around inside the auditorium. As soon as the procession leaves the auditorium, you are requested to rise and remain standing until the procession and guests of honour have left the auditorium. A kind yet important request. Please only applaud after the student's name has been read out, and only applaud until the student has been capped, in order to give other graduates the opportunity to have an audible readout of their names. Please also note that no whistles are allowed for applause, only clapping of hands and ululating. You are cordially invited to enjoy refreshments in the foyer after the ceremony. A final request. If you have a cell phone in your possession, please switch it off or put it on silent. Ladies and gentlemen, the procession will now enter the auditorium. You are requested to rise and remain standing until the members of the procession have taken their seats.
Gaudiamus igitur juvenestum sumus. Gaudiamus igitur juvenestum sumus. Post jucundam juventutem, post molestam senectutem, nos habebitumus. Nos habebitumus. Vivat academia, vivat professores. Vivat academia, vivat professores. Vivat membrum quod libet, vivat membra quelibet. Sempre sint in flore, sempre sint in flore.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now constitute this meeting as a lawful congregation of the University of Johannesburg. Ngenxa yegunya enginikwe lona, ngimisa lo mhlangano njengokuhlangana okusemthethweni kwe-University of Johannesburg. You may take a seat.
Bongo, 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 bong, 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 bongo, bongo. Bongo bongo bong bongo 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 bong 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 bong.
Sanmonani? Dumelang? Good morning? Goeiemorgen? Chancellor, Acting Executive Deans, Prof. Mercy Mpinkanyira from the College of Business and Economics, and Prof. Andre Strydom from the Faculty of Science, who is also a member of our council, members of Senate and other academics, graduates and guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Council and the Executive Management and staff of UJ, it gives me great pleasure to welcome our graduates and their guests to this graduation ceremony. Graduations are both ends and beginnings. The graduation of a student from a university marks the successful completion of a course of study. At the same time, it marks the start of something else. For some, that something else is another degree. For others, it is entrance into the world of work. Whatever the something else may be, this solemn ritual is a time for graduates to celebrate with their families and friends the achievement and attainment of a major milestone in their lives. Of course, a milestone is just a point in a longer journey. It is up to each of us to determine the direction of that journey. At UJ, we seek to support our students in their own greater journeys by helping them to unleashing the power of their own human potential, to unlock their creativity, as to make their own unique contributions to innovation in their respective fields of study. The past few years were momentous for higher education in South Africa. Our students have brought to the surface real concerns about transformation, an equitable fee structure, and a decolonized education. These critical moments in our history provided us with the opportunity to reflect on our curriculum and teaching practices, and to develop innovative and creative solutions. UJ has a proud track record of expanding funded access for the poor, working, and lower middle class. As we do this, we are inspired by the words of Nelson Mandela, who once said, and I quote, "It is through education that the daughter of a peasant become a doctor, that the son of a mine worker can become the head of a mine, and that the child of farm workers can become the president of a great nation." End of quote. We are proud of UJ's record and status as one of the most transformed universities in the country. Access to education for even the most vulnerable of our society is not mere rhetoric for us. It's a moral currency we espouse. We provide access, and as we will witness today, consequential success. Our enrollment figures for 2018, undergraduate and postgraduate combined, further tell us that 87% of our students are Black South Africans, and that close to 30% of our undergraduate first years from public schools come from quintile 1 and quintile 2 schools. Those are the schools that serve the poorest of our nation. UJ has grown into a world-class, internationally recognized university with more than 50,000 students registered. Our global stature and academic depth are acknowledged by reputable higher education ranking systems in the world. In addition, UJ is the only African university accorded the honor of membership to Universitas 21. It's an elite consortium of 26 global universities from every continent, most of which are placed in the top 100 in the world. Now, this membership connects us to the very best in global higher education. As we move into a significant era of transformation and decolonization in higher education, this great university called UJ continues to build on its successes and to break new ground. Our vision is to empower our students to be leaders in the fourth industrial revolution, where technology is entering our workplaces, our homes, and all aspects of our lives. Graduates, you've been groomed for leadership. You are equipped to join the world of work locally and abroad. As you embark on your selected career, we know that you will use your successes and your strengths to make positive contributions to society as a responsible corporate citizen and future leader. Now, as you glow with justified pride in your successes, bear in mind that you have not walked this journey alone. Many of those who have supported or guided you are present here today. Please serve them and your communities with pride. Graduates, with your UJ qualification, you are joining now an elite worldwide UJ alumni community. We encourage you to become an active member of the UJ convocation, because by staying actively engaged with UJ, you can make a real contribution to our academic project here at UJ and to those who will study after you. You have chosen well by studying at UJ. Now is your time to go and make your mark. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Ke ale bohania bonga, baie dankie. Chancellor, I now request the Acting Executive Deans, Prof. Mpenkanira from the College of Business and Economics, and then also Prof. Andre Strydom of the Faculty of Science, to introduce the college and the faculty, and thereafter the candidates who complied with all the requirements for the respective qualifications.
Chancellor, I now have the honor of introducing the College of Business and Economics. Africa's aim to achieve 5% economic growth by 2021 depends on connecting African economies to one another and to those of Asia, Europe, and the rest of the world. Fact is that Africa needs more trade than aid, and consequently needs more competent managers and leaders to ensure the flow of goods and services among African countries. Therefore, UJ, as a new generation university of choice anchored in Africa, continues to search for new ways to continuously use its strength in serving Pan-African ideals. The College of Business and Economics serve our nation and the continent through the strength of its 6 schools. These are the School of Accounting, the Johannesburg Business School, the School of Consumer Intelligence and Information Systems, the School of Economics, the School of Public Management, Governance and Public Policy, and the School of Tourism and Hospitality. Within these schools are located a formidable range of academic departments, centers, and an institute, diverse in their disciplines and aligned in their purpose to develop critical thinkers and problem solvers who address business, economic, and societal challenges. With a current enrollment of 20,000 full-time students and a further 7,000 students enrolled in continuing education programs, and over 550 academic, professional support, and administrative staff, the college contributes significantly to Pan-African ideals. The college is ranked 4th in the continent in business and management studies, 4th in economics and econometrics, and 1st in tourism and hospitality. In keeping ahead of the impact of the 4th Industrial Revolution, we are actively strategizing and working on securing the future of society. In the words of the late and great Hugh Masekela's song, Tumamina, we are reaching out and lending a hand across society and the economy. The humanity and talents of our staff connect us to one another and to an extensive continental and international network. This is how we ensure that the UJ College of Business and Economics is top of mind and top of class. The College of Business and Economics expresses sincere appreciation to our stakeholders, and notably today our great graduates. Congratulations to all who will be walking the stage today in the presence of your families and friends. Yours is indeed a great achievement. We look forward to either welcoming you back here at UJ as you pursue further studies, or to stay in touch with you in the years ahead. I thank you. Kelabuha, Giabonga. Chancellor, I now introduce to you the candidates who complied with all the requirements for the respective qualifications in order for you to confer or award such qualifications.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I will now confer and award the respective qualifications on the candidates introduced to me by the Acting Executive Dean, and to the candidates who are absent but who have complied with all the requirements for the qualifications.
Chancellor, I'm ordered to request to you to award the diploma to the following candidates: Innocent Mfanelo Tsetwayo, Princess Sitselisile Dube, Mandla Mputso Koza, Mpeng Andrew Rehodi. Prisia Lorraine Loye Itembela. Nontolo Mendi Lubisi. Here you are. Mpiloshe Sifiso Lutuli. Shuvukani Captain Mabasa. Kabelo Mahodiela. Bongane Magudilela. Boitumelo Silencia Majola. Precious Majola. Sebatan Prosperity Makola. Bakai Christian Mamina. Zizipo Mandla. Velapi Matusi. Mkateko Ed Manzini. Valencia Nompumelelo Masanabo. Tihuhe Lucia Maswanganyi. Sifiso Mpendulo Matenjwa. Mamarwane Letabo Mantlala. Bongiwe Mbata. Batitsana Nkandla. Colin Pumuzo Mokwebo. Lebaona Velancius Molefe. Halalelo Molokwane. Orafile Rachel Moraka. Precious Sabaichani Moshia. Immaculate Sibongile Mpofu. Lindiwe Musekene. Sipumlile Nabile. Katleho Usula Nemaongani. Tendani na Pipidi. Tumelo Hoepa. Hauhelo Tapelo Mkwebe. Sineshasha Nkosi. Tando Gugu Nkosi. Kalabo Kevin Nonyani. Shamuselo Ntimbani. Lusani Pidani. Sala Kamohelo Lamatsetse. Graham Gerald Rumuso. Tumisang Salewe. Mpo Saebelo. Baitsang Saleke. Kamohelo Rebecca Seloane. Mlungisi Professor Sibanyoni. Tulani Sitole.
Mercy, just ask them that you be allowed to read the name. Otherwise, the Chancellor can't hear the name. So they must just give you opportunity to read the name. Just ask them.
I know it's a day of celebration, but may I ask you to celebrate in short bits so that the Chancellor can hear the names. Zamani Solwadwe. Piwokuhe Ziakanya Sokwala. Grace Tisanabo Buzune. Fefekazi Zintle Nofemele. Kelatue Maletso Terin Klokotsi. Stay there. Chancellor, I'm honored to request you to award National Diploma to the following candidates. Feline Delia Abagayeli. Jean Jacques Maswai Badianyama. Ntsako Silence Chabalala. Brainlord Chauke. Twanano Rector Chauke. Zandile Tilo. Ntombikona Pretty Dramini. Michael David Ejang Moro. Lulama Ngulube. Sandile Patrick Latwayo. Maseng Lolin Ilunga. Nontolo Jebula. Jubilee Leshon Gonolo Kaisenyani. Palesa Kwele. Tabiseng Benus Kutwana. Marine Chantel Kruger. Kesan Shamen Lebese. Patience Bonolo Mabidikama. Elizabeth Mabuza. Monges Theodore Mabuza. Sifiso Grant Magagula. Akona Magudulela. Komoto Alpheus Maja. Siasisanda Makwekwe. Lelebo Hile Malele. Stembiso Maluleke. Murangiri Manganyi. Koketso Marema. Pule Mashemene. Kulula Yuleka Masingi. Cindy Mate. Yvette Matladi. Modise Tuso Morris Matseke. Chisomo Grace Maulidi. Sitelo Raymond Mawela. Sindiswa Beauty Mbanjwa. Shengiwe Portia Mbele. Lufad Rosie Mbeni. Pumelela Rehom Makulu. Tsebisi Yuhin Ngomezulu. Tabile Vuyiswa Nyandu. Tabana Beverly Mualamedi. Leneilwe Shaman Mojaji. Kabelo Tato Mofokeng. Pesivo Bakang Raput Mohajan. Ayanda Mokena Mapalala. Maria Ntombi Mkomo. Karabo Morebatsi. Mopat Joseph Motei. Shumelo Justin Ntanga. Zintle Sikwana. Ntombikaise Ndamani. Ntando Ngidi. Tumelo Onas Mushaba Nkuna. Lebohang Putiahe. Tato Ketemile Lakanang. Bongenkile Sipokuhe Fortune Likotso. Cleorine Irene Roberts. Lesed Rejoice Sefatsa. Mandi Komotso Selotole. Your surname? First name? Okay. Selubana Falaza. Nosizo Michelle Sibanda. Joanne Catherine Swart. Lelato Taeri. Jabulile Tabalala. Nokutula Nokubonga Zindela.
Chancellor, I now have the honor of introducing to you the Faculty of Science. The Faculty of Science is a vibrant, dynamic and diverse community where new knowledge in the natural sciences and biological technologies is generated, disseminated and applied. We boast state-of-the-art research facilities and internationally accredited undergraduate and postgraduate programs which we present through innovative teaching focused on the learning needs of our students. We offer excellent programs, many of which enjoy international recognition, as exemplified by the accreditation of an honours degree offered by our Academy of Computer Science and Software Engineering by the British Computer Society. We also offer a Bachelor of Science degree in Actuarial Science, which follows an international curriculum and joint postgraduate degrees through the Erasmus Mundus program of the Netherlands. A wide array of cutting-edge research performed under the broad theme of developing technologies for the improved quality of all life on Earth are explored in the faculty. A few examples include nanomaterials for wastewater treatment, food and nutrition security, the sustainable use of our natural resources, DNA barcoding for wildlife protection, determining the age of hominin fossils like Homo naledi, and drug development for infectious diseases like HIV/AIDS and TB. Groundbreaking research in the geology department recently provided evidence that stones found in the Syrian desert have an extraterrestrial origin. Our research spans the cosmos, from astrophysics of outer space to minerals of the Earth and the chemistry and structural setting of dolerite intrusions in Antarctica. The faculty have also recently answered the call for solutions to the Western Cape's water problem by embarking on investigations into nanotechnology for desalination of water. The The facility has regional and international partnerships, which include associations with some of the world's leading research institutions, such as the University of Oxford's Global Cybersecurity Capacity Center, the University of Hong Kong in China, with whom we collaborate on water quality studies, and the Research Center in Biodiversity and Genetic Resources in Portugal, where we collaborate on conservation genomics and wildlife management. The University of Johannesburg, through the Faculty of Science, is the only member on the African continent of the NASA-linked Fermi Large Area Telescope collaboration. This collaboration contributed to the recently announced gravitational waves detected, which provides evidence for Einstein's theory of relativity. Some of our physicists also collaborate on research done at Southern Africa's Large Telescope. In the Faculty of Science, we know that our unique contribution to science requires enduring innovation and academic excellence. We are therefore constantly aware of our duty to challenge existing knowledge, to accelerate the production of new knowledge, to expand the boundaries of our thoughts about what is possible, and then to create an environment in which students and staff can imagine and explore the impossible. I thank you. Kia leboha, ngiyabonga, roro livuha. Thank you. Chancellor, I now introduce to you the candidates who complied with all the requirements for the respective qualifications in order for you to confer or award such qualifications.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I will now confer and award the respective qualifications on the candidates introduced to me by the Acting Executive Dean, and to the candidates who are absent but who have complied with all the requirements for qualifications.
Chancellor, I'm honored to request you to award the National Diploma to the following candidates. Etshidiseng Apiri. Stembiso Dladla. Dimpo Lucia Lebiesa. Kudu Makola. Boipelo Nicolette Mate. Busisiwe Maria Mawela. Mbali Precious Nkwebane. Molatelo Moko. Mamose Bedi Molokome. Esther Ndlovu. Maureen Ngobeni. Quiet, please. Quiet. Quiet. Let's give each of our candidates an equal chance of celebration on stage. Thank you. Elina Perseverance Kabinde. I like your shoes. Reagan Marcel Pennington. Sharon Makondeleli Raletswetsi. Moloko Winnie Ramabi. Duduzile Sekalika. Prudence Retabile Serache. Malehlohonolo Valencia Sibasa. Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting Olúwafẹ́mi Ayodeji Adebo, who has complied with all the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Technology in food technology with a thesis entitled Metabolomics, Physico-Chemical Properties and Mycotoxin Reduction of Whole Grain Ting, which is a South African fermented food produced from natural and lactic acid bacteria fermentation, prepared under the supervision of Dr. Eugenie Kaitesi and co-supervision of Prof. Patrick Njobe. I now request the co-supervisor to read out an abstract of the study.
Chancellor. The doctoral research focused on the metabolomics, physicochemical properties, and mycotoxin reduction in whole grain ting, a Southern African fermented food produced through natural and lactic acid bacterial fermentation. The study indicated that composition of whole grain ting largely depended on factors such as fermentation time and temperature, as well as substrate composition. Thus, these parameters could influence the quality of derived products. It was observed that fermentation of whole grain sorghum, particularly with Lactobacillus fermentum strains, yielded a product ting that is deemed safe and rich in relevant nutritionally important metabolites. Mr. Adebo's work has resulted in 3 papers published in international peer-reviewed journals, 3 peer-reviewed book chapters, and 2 manuscripts currently under review. The work has been presented at 2 local and 3 international conferences.
Chancellor, I now request you to confer the degree Doctor of Technology on this candidate.
Thank you. Thank you. By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now confer the degree Doctor of Technology in Food Technology on Olúwafẹ́mi Ayodeji Adebo.
the guy in front of you. Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting Yumbi Thierry Fonkui, who has complied with all the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Technology in Biotechnology, with a thesis entitled Schiff Bases, Synthesis, Characterization, and Antimicrobial Properties, prepared under the supervision of Prof. Patrick Njobe and co-supervision of Professor Derek Ndente and Dr. M.I. Ikile. I now request the supervisor to read out an abstract of the study.
Congratulations. In this doctoral study, a series of imine-based compounds known as Schiff bases were synthesized and tested against different microbial pathogens. Schiff bases with benzimidazole, moiety, and derivatives, together with those of salicylaldehyde, thiosemicarbazole, aniline, and tryptamine scaffolds were successfully synthesized and screened for their pharmacological importance against bacteria, fungi, HIV, trypanosoma, and plasmodium parasites. This study has international value as Schiff bases containing benzimidazole and salicylaldehyde, thiosemicarbazole derivatives showed greater antimicrobial activity than some antibiotics used as reference materials. Characterization of the compounds provided useful information on the structure-activity relationship of the Schiff bases. The thesis resulted in 3 publications in international peer-reviewed journals, and the findings from the study were presented at 2 local conferences.
Chancellor, I now request you to confer the degree Doctor of Technology on this candidate.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now confer the degree Doctor of Technology in Biotechnology in Yumbi Thierry Fonkui.
Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting Mariam Iyabo Adeyoba, who has complied with all the requirements for the degree of Philosophiae Doctor in Zoology, with a thesis entitled Phylogenetic Analysis of Extinction Risk and Diversification History of the African Cypriptinae using DNA barcodes, prepared under the supervision of Dr. Yusufu. In absence of the supervisor, I will now read out an abstract of the study. We have entered into the 6th mass extinction period, characterized by an unprecedented loss of biodiversity. The main objective of this study was to investigate how the extinction of currently threatened species would affect the evolutionary diversity of African Cypriptinae. The study was revealed that most diversification events occurred in the last 10 million years, following a non-constant episodic model, and that we may not lose greater evolutionary diversity than expected if all threatened species go extinct. This study is the first to elucidate how the ongoing extinction crisis may affect the tree of life of Cypriptinae in Africa. The candidate's work produced 4 papers, one of which was published in an international peer-reviewed journal, with the other 3 submitted and under review. The work has been presented at a national conference. Chancellor, I now request you to confer the degree Philosophiae Doctor on this candidate.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now confer the degree Philosophia Doctor in Zoology on Mariam Iyabo Adioba.
Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting Anifat Olayemi Bello, who has complied with all the requirements for the degree of Philosophiae Doctor in Botany, with a thesis entitled A Systematic Study of Pteronia Asteraceae, prepared under the supervision of Professor Michel van der Bank, co-supervision of Professor Stephen Boatwright and Dr. A.R. McGee. I now request the supervisor to read out an abstract of the study.
The candidate employed a multidisciplinary approach to assess the Southern African Pteronia species in order to investigate their phylogenetic relationships and diversion times, as well as to review their taxonomy using molecular, morphological, anatomical, and biogeographical data. More specifically, she evaluated the systematic position of the genus, revised its subgeneric classification, and explored the evolutionary relationships of the species complexes. Lastly, she estimated the divergent times and diversification of the genus, which provided new insights into the diversification and biogeography of the Naba-Karoo region of Southern Africa. A major milestone of the study is the comprehensive taxonomic revision presented for the genus. A total of 76 species are recognized, of which 5 are newly described. The thesis has resulted in a peer-reviewed publication and presentations at both national and international conferences.
Chancellor, I now request you to confer the degree Philosophiae Doctor on this candidate.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now confer the degree Philosophiae Doctor in Botany on Anifat Olayemi Bello.
Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting Marie Chantal Ciulignana, who has complied with all the degrees for the degree of requirements for the degree of Philosophiae Doctor in Physics, with a thesis entitled Reproducing Ground-Level Solar Radiation Characteristics Observed in Tropical Climates Using Theoretical and Computational Models, prepared under the supervision of Professor Hartmut Winkler. I now request the supervisor to read out an abstract of the study.
The physics of solar irradiance, determined by the interaction of solar radiation with molecules and aerosols in the Earth's atmosphere, is critical for understanding phenomena such as global warming, as well as for assessing the effectiveness of solar energy technologies. The study investigated solar irradiance in tropical climates, specifically focusing on East and Central Africa and Rwanda, something not done before in that region. Using Monte Carlo simulations of physical processes, an analytical model, LibTran, and radiometric observations, the candidate developed a methodology for calculating the transmittance and reflectance of a one-dimensional plane parallel homogeneous atmosphere characteristic of the tropical East African climate. The models determined the estimated ground-level solar spectrum and integrated sunlight in Rwanda. The work is applicable more widely and provides a unique tool that assists to optimize solar power plant operations in the Great Lakes region. The thesis has resulted in an international peer-reviewed publication.
Chancellor, I now request you to confer the degree Philosophiae Doctor on this candidate.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now confer the degree Philosophiae Doctor in Physics on Marie Chantal Chilianyama.
Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting Tirupati Rao Gola, who has complied with all the requirements for the degree of Philosophiae Doctor in Zoology, with a thesis entitled A Genomic Appraisal of the Stock Structure of South African Sardines, Sardinops sagax, prepared under the supervision of Professor Peter Teske and co-supervision of Professor Bettine Janssen van Vieren. I now request the supervisor to read out an abstract of the study.
In his doctoral study, the candidate conducted genomic research on the commercially important sardine, Sardinops sagax. The fishing industry assumes that overfishing of West Coast sardines will be offset by the migration of sardines from the South Coast. Mr. Gola's work proves conclusively that the two regions have distinct stocks that do not readily mix because they are adapted to different water temperatures, and that the West Coast stock is at risk of collapsing if the management strategy is not changed. This is the first project at UJ to use next-generation sequencing, a method that generates data from thousands of genes instead of the usual single gene used in more established methods such as DNA barcoding. The candidate's work has produced 3 international peer-reviewed articles, one of which was published in the prestigious Nature Scientific Reports.
Chancellor, I now request you to confer the degree Philosophiae Doctor on this candidate.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now confer the degree Philosophiae Doctor in Zoology on Tirupati Rao Gola.
Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting Nyasha Mabika, who has complied with all the requirements for the degree of Philosophiae Doctor in Zoology, with a thesis entitled Parasite Fauna of Tigerfish in the Sanyati Basin, Lake Kariba in Zimbabwe, prepared under the supervision of Professor Annevenant Oldewage, co-supervision of Professor Barson, and co-supervision of Dr. van Dijk. I now request the supervisor to read out an abstract of the study.
Mr. Mabika's research reported on the parasite fauna of tigerfish, Drosines vittatus in Lake Kariba. All parasites reported are native to Africa, and new records of parasites include pentastome larvae, Trichodina species, Tetrahymena, Myxobolus species, and the Bothriocephalid cestote. None of the parasite's occurrence was affected by seasonal changes, possibly due to the thermal stability of the lake. Lamproglena hypsete and the cestote species were described for the first time with scanning microscopy and also with DNA techniques. The candidate's work has resulted in an international peer-reviewed publication and presentations at 1 international and 3 national conferences.
Chancellor, I now request you to confer the degree Philosophiae Doctor on this candidate.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now confer the degree Philosophiae Doctor in Zoology on Nyasha Mabika. Ladies and gentlemen, at the closing of this ceremony, let me also express warm words of congratulations to our graduates. Please give them a round of applause. Yours is a truly outstanding and landmark achievement for you personally, your families, friends, your communities, all of us at UJ, our country, and beyond. As we all celebrate, our graduates stand as reminders that accomplishment, triumph, and celebration are the outcomes of effort, struggle, and endurance, traits that our nation and our world should draw great inspiration from. Our hope is that the time and energy that you, your families, the university, and the state have invested in your education will now see you contribute to grow professionally, intellectually, and as a committed and respected citizen of your country and the wider global community. You should do so with integrity, good faith, honor, and humility. It is also your responsibility to share these values generously with those that you interact with. Let me also now turn and express our words of gratitude to parents, families, spouses, partners, friends, for your support, motivation, and love during your studies. Please give them a round of applause. We also take this opportunity to thank our academics, great teachers, and fine scholars who have made this possible. To them. Graduates at UJ, you have acquired all the key ingredients to become an inspirational and effective leader, a leader who reimagines the future to the benefit of others. There can never be an African Renaissance unless we are active participants in the fourth industrial revolution. You have an exceptional opportunity to transform the way we live and the way we work. You are on a new path filled with the promise of exciting opportunities in pursuit of further excellence. Remain critical thinkers, armed with your qualification, and be change agents for a better world. We hope to see you in future, furthering your studies. Ladies and gentlemen, ke a leboga, nyabonga, baya danki. Thank you. I now request all of you to stand up for the singing of the national anthem, words of which can be found on the last page of your program. By virtue of the powers vested in me, I now dissolve this congregation of the University of Johannesburg. Thank you very much.
Pema